everybody on YouTube. This is Queen of the Unseen, and today I would like to talk about my origin story and where I come from, and this is going to be the beginning of a couple of episodes that are basically going to go into this, and I'm going to bring in friends so that there could be some comparisons and things like that, and we could talk about how, you know, people's lives have changed between maybe from the moment I met them until now, or you know, everybody's life changes, and I think that this is me trying to sort of put together and keep track of all those changes that have changed in my life from birth until now, because my life has gone completely upside down and switched up on me. So let's start at the beginning. You know, of course I was born. Everybody's born, that's kind of how that works, but I was born September 16th, 1997, Virgo gang, hey, that's why I got this tattoo, Virgo gang, huh. So I was born in the first month of fall, technically, because that's when fall began, September, 5 days after I was born. That's the beginning of fall, which is pretty dope. So when I was born, my dad was in his 20s and looking for employment, and my mom was, that I recently found out, a runaway. So she ran away from home to be with my dad when she was 16 and he was in his 20s. And the reason why is because, again, if you're a rebellious teenager and everybody's going through this phase, you know, if an older man or an older person is telling you you can do whatever you want, naturally you're gonna take that opportunity by the balls and just run with it. But that's what my mom did. She ran away with my dad when she was 16 and got pregnant at 21, so they waited until my mom was legal to have sex, which is great, I guess. I don't know. Fuck it. And then I was born roughly after my mom's 21st birthday. So my mom turned 21 and then I was born. And there's two very funny stories, well, not funny, but there's two very interesting events that occurred the day of my birth. So the first one being, when my mom went into labor initially, somebody called my dad to let him know, yeah, listen, your wife's about to have the baby, or your girlfriend, excuse me, they weren't married at the time, your girlfriend's about to have the baby, so you might want to get to the hospital. And sure enough, my dad's response, and this is not me making this up, this is not me, I wasn't born yet, so obviously these aren't memories of my own, but this is what my dad said happened. And the fact that he didn't even make himself look like a good guy in this situation has led me to believe it to be true. So, my dad said on the phone, and I quote him for saying this to me, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go look for a job then, like right now." Okay, alright, so you know, that was, if I was an adult in this situation, I would have been like, instant red flag, but you know what? I wasn't born yet. I was still inside of my placenta, inside of my mother. I had no say in the matter. Anyway. So, I was in the hospital with my mom for maybe, my dad told me he came the next day, roughly. So I was there with my mom for at least 24 hours without having a name. I was just baby girl Canada because they didn't even have my dad's last name on the birth certificate. They had no information on my birth certificate, no documentation, no nothing, because of the fact that all they knew is the mother and the father wasn't even on the birth certificate yet because the father wasn't even present, and apparently the father has to be physically present for them to put him on the birth certificate because he has to be a witness to the birth. Did not know that information, but now I do, which is amazing. So yeah, I learned a lot of information because of my birth. It's kind of crazy. So my dad comes the next day. I am still baby girl Canada because, again, I was a girl, I was a baby, and that was my mom's maiden last name. And this is really funny. So this is the funny chuckle, please laugh at my pain story. So, as you know, they cannot name the baby without the parents naming the child. And because the person who was there with my mom did not have power of attorney and she did not know what my name was supposed to be, she herself couldn't sign those documents to make sure that I was named. So they had to wait for my dad. My parents did not have a name for me throughout the entire pregnancy. They did not know what they were going to name me. The only thing that they knew was the fact that I was going to have my aunt's middle name. But as for a first name, they were juggling a couple of names. So my dad told me I could have been named Jules. I could have been named Teresa, which is after my mom. I could have been named Georgina. There was a lot of names. Okay, there was Brittany was on the table at one point. Ashley. Like, they had a lot of basic names that they were going to give me. Now, well, Jewel, technically, which is kind of ironic because I Jewel now, and that's the... Anyway, okay. So, my dad comes in for the date of my birth. So he comes in the day after. So it's September 17th now. I have officially been alive and breathing for 24 hours. My dad comes in, and the nurse is like, okay, we need a name for the birth certificate. It's still blank. We don't even have a name on the bassinet right now. We don't have a name for the records. We have to, to register so you can get a social security card and all that kind of stuff. We need the name first. So my dad's like, oh, her name's going to be Corella Monique. Now, the nurse can spell the middle name perfectly fine. The only issue that she asked him was, oh, is that Monique with a Q, or do you have it a special way you want to spell it? So he said, nope, spell Monique the way it sounds. Exactly the way it's spelled, exactly how it's going to be. So however you would spell Monique is how you spell Monique. Perfect. No problem. My name is spelled, my middle name is perfectly fine. M-O-N-I-Q-U-E. Perfectly fine. Now, here's where stuff gets a little bit topsy-turvy. So, my first name. The nurse says, the first name you picked is very unique. I've never heard that before. I'm assuming that this is the conversation that's happened because I'm trying to think professionally, but it probably went a little differently. But essentially, my dad was asked, however the conversation went, my dad was asked to spell my first name. So my dad was like, okay, her first name is Carila. Now, I know normally, if a parent spells a child's name, they're just going to leave it as is. If that's how the parent wants to spell it, that's how the parent wants to spell it. If that's how the parent wants to pronounce it, that's how the parent wants to pronounce it. But this nurse, who was very, very thorough, asked my dad, are you sure? Is that how you want to spell it? Now, my dad at first was like, yeah, actually, this is exactly how he said it. And this is from his story, not mine. I'm interpreting it how he told it to me. He was like, yes, nurse, exactly how I want to spell it. Actually, let's make a small change. Now, he said, and I quote, I want to spell it Carila. Understand something. I'm going to give you a short English lesson really quickly. Just really short. The reason why this nurse asked him to be sure is because he spelt my name with an I. Now, an I, and I'm going to have a little I pop up right here for you guys, an I can make one of two sounds in the English language. Either an E sound, as an E, or an I sound, I. Okay? Now, E, okay, makes the eh or E sound. So not like, you get what I mean here, makes the eh or E sound. Right? So, this nurse, whom I've never met before in my life, I don't know who she is, and I wish I could meet her today so I can ask her or even hug her and appreciate her for trying to make sure that my parents made a smart decision with my name. But, of course, things as they are, my dad says, yeah, no, I'm right, Carila. Now, I am named, I was a name that was given to me from my aunt, who got the name from her friend. That's the story that I was told of my name, because my parents did not know what they were going to name me all throughout the pregnancy. They were looking through baby books, none of them worked. My dad was going to name me Jewel. My mom wanted to name me after herself, after her mother, after her grandmother, after her great-grandmother. Like, everybody had a name for me, but none of them really fit, I guess, for my dad. Like, my dad wanted me to have a unique name. Like, that was his main focus. Like, he wanted my name to be a name that nobody has. Well, congratulations, Dad. That is the one thing you did right. That's a messed up thing to say, but that is the one thing that you wanted to do that you actually achieved. You gave me such a unique name that I am now forever stuck with explaining the story of my name. But I know it sounds like I'm angry about that, but honestly, I'm not. And the reason why I say that I'm not, and as much as it seems like I'm putting off this aggressive, angry energy, the reason why I'm saying that I'm not upset about it is because my dad gave me the opportunity to have a name that does not exist. It is a pronunciation that does not exist in the English language. My name is the embodiment of incorrection. You know, like that is like it's everything. The only reason why my name is so special to me and I love it so much despite, you know, how I got it, is because it really is unique. Like, there is nobody else in the world with my name. The only thing that has my name, but pronunciation wise, not spelling wise, is the Corella fruit, which is technically a bitter melon. If you look up an episode of Chopped, they actually do have that melon on the internet, on the episode, and you can also look up the Corella plant as well. And that is spelled K-A-R-E-L-A. That's how you spell the Corella fruit, and it's actually a very bitter fruit, which is very funny because I'm not very bitter, but it's a good compliment to a lot of gumbos and dishes, I'm just saying. So it's a forgotten fruit that actually has a great acidity and bitterness to it. Like, it's great for tardy dishes. And no, I'm not learning that from actually Chopped. I did some research on my name because it's such a weird name and people keep telling me I misspell my name. So I love it so much because I can put meaning to my name. Just like the Corella fruit is bitter and people don't like to use it because it's bitter, if you are a good chef, you know how to use that fruit properly. And I feel that same way with my name. I am the vessel and the embodiment of my name, and I know how to use it properly. So while I was in college this semester, I was taking a poetry class, and one of the things that I really enjoyed about this poetry class is the need or the responsibility to be open and accepting and loving and nurturing and, you know, all of these things while also creating and supporting and sharing your art. And something that I've always wanted to do is write a poem for my name. And at first I was going to have it be you know, all of this jumbled up anger within me, but then I realized that there is no point in, you know, trying to reshape or, you know, change my name. Like, I've always tried to change it, but I always thought to myself, what if I just rebrand it? What if I make it my own? Like I've always wanted to do and never had the confidence to do. So while during my rebranding, I came up with this poem that I'm calling The Truth of Us. The only word that is spelled incorrectly is, well, incorrectly. That is until you look at my name and see that it too is spelled incorrectly. Taught to live life incorrectly. I made friends incorrectly. I write my F's incorrectly. Fuck, I even think incorrectly. I feel incorrectly. I got my education incorrectly. Spent my money incorrectly. I survived incorrectly. I even break incorrectly. There are marks on my life, scratching out my pain incorrectly. I drew up my future incorrectly. I write incorrectly. I spell incorrectly. I love incorrectly. I am incorrectly. My tears flowed incorrectly. You loved me incorrectly. Hated me incorrectly. Hurt me incorrectly. Fed me incorrectly. I bled incorrectly. My heart is broken, shattered in a million pieces, each edge attempting to come together incorrectly. I breathe incorrectly. I smile incorrectly. Shit, I even express the way I drawn in the dark incorrectly. Everything feels incorrectly. Incorrect. 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 I could spell it over and over, and I'd still be spelling it incorrectly. Corella. 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 I could spell it over and over, and I'd still be spelling it incorrectly. The only word that is spelled incorrectly is well incorrectly. That is until you look at my name and see that it too is spelled incorrectly. Hope you guys like that. This is episode 1 of my Queen of the Unseen channel. I don't know why I'm putting these in episodes, but I think that I'm trying to make this a bit of a web series kind of thing. And since I unfortunately didn't start this web series when I was a lot younger and could have really shown some growth, well, I mean, I did start it when I was younger, because I did vlogs and I ranted and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, I really wanted to rebrand this channel and rebrand everything. I'm just like my name, I am rebranding. I'm taking control of everything and showing that in order for you to be truly happy with yourself and happy with the world and happy with what you've done, you really do have to make some change. And right now, I'm making some change. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe when you got the chance. And leave a comment down below on what you guys think. If you guys have any questions for me, I'll be dying to answer them. I would love to answer anything you have to say. Any questions you have, I'd love to answer. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Alright, bye guys!